Just a few quick announcements while we get the next speaker on to the stage. A lot of you have been asking if you will be able to get these presentations. If you visit terabizgroup.com/digibap-summit, in about 2 or 3 days, you will be able to get most of the presentations there. So you can just make note. I believe they're also on the brochure. So that's where you will be able to get the presentations. Also, on your tables during the tea break, you will have found a PwC survey result packet booklets for yourselves. These are the survey results of a survey that PwC conducted on redrawing the lines, fintech's growing influence on the financial services. Please do take a moment and take the booklet with you. It'll give you a very good perspective and insights onto what the global trends are. And of course, if you're getting rid of the plastic, please dispose of it smartly. Our next speaker will be talking about technology-led disruptions in Pakistan retail, a practitioner's view, and for that we've had the CEO of TPS Worldwide, Mr. Shahzad Shahid.
I think let me use this thing. Assalamu alaikum. It's pretty tough to come after Kasif, who is so energetic, passionate about digital banking and how the banks will become dinosaurs. It's actually more challenging because TPS services banks. So my business and revenues and my salaries come from the technology employed by the banks. And this is where I believe that how TPS is geared towards transforming these big financial institutions to offer convenient financial services is going to play a critical game, even if the fintechs do amazing. So starting off, so a bit of TPS. We are an old company in Pakistan, have 120 plus customers across 30 countries. In Pakistan, we have pretty much, massive banking share. Now, this introduction is important so that you can basically, understand the context. Now, when you talk about banks and technology companies who are going to be the winner, it's important to listen from the top people about banking. Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, the CEO of BBVA and the chairman of Santander Group. One thing everybody agrees is you have to be fast and you cannot take cover of the regulator. Because the time will come when the regulations will allow the nimble, fast-moving, innovative companies to have the customers. And they will not need the regular banking licenses. And this is where the time will start changing. The change, Kasif has talked about it, is very, very fast. So we are not expecting that the change will happen in 2025. It may happen in the next, possibly quarters, even by State Bank of Pakistan here. So talking about a bit of changes that I believe will start happening in Pakistan in the next couple of years or by 2020. One is about the branches. Pakistan for the past many years is seeing a very low interest rate, hanging between 5 and 6%, which means that you cannot continue to expand your branch network. Not so, I expect the branches to actually shrink in the count. Second, there's something which is common between a clinic and a bank branch. You go to the clinic, you stand in a queue, you do not know when your turn will come. When you stand in front of the doctor or the teller, you do not know how long will it take for the transaction or the consulting to end. This is a very painful experience. So this does deserve to be disrupted. Quick, efficient way of, customer service at the branches, and technology has to play a role there. Cash is to stay as the king. In the US today, when 32% transactions actually are cash-based, I don't see Pakistan is going to say goodbye to cash. Not happening. Even if Pakistan comes to 50% cash in the next 3 years, it's going to be a miracle, amazing. But mobile phones and the mobile-initiated transactions will start to become pretty dominant. Like, there's a statement from the RBS CEO that the biggest bank branch for them was actually a mobile phone, and the transactions happening on them between 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. This is the convenience of mobile phone. Pakistan is blessed because we have NADRA for a long time, which actually has the citizen database and the biometric. We will be seeing massive human biometrics, and we will start replacing the signatures on the checks, the passwords on internet banking, and the PIN codes for ATMs. So they will be substituted by biometrics, but I do not think that while NADRA will reduce the cost of its verices, there will be more forms of human biometrics which will become dominant. Pakistan, there's a lot of predictions about $1 billion of e-commerce in Pakistan in the next 3 years, 5 years. I believe that the cash on agent or the cash on delivery cannot do that. We will be seeing an emerging role of digital wallets and the virtual cards, prepaid or otherwise, which are going to fuel this acceleration of e-commerce. Bots developed entirely on data analytics and AI. I don't really see it becoming predominant, but we will have some level of introduction in e-commerce, as well as the marketplaces, as well as the banking start to happen. I think fintechs will find better space in the lending platforms, which is the P2P. This is an area where the banks are not doing good, and I don't expect them to actually do pretty good in the next few years. So this is an area where we'll find possibly the fintechs to do some good job there. Pakistan is second last today in terms of ATM density in Asia. So we are, as per the World Bank report of 2019, World Bank report of 2016, Pakistan is only above Myanmar. We are behind Nepal, Bangladesh, India, and whoever. Still, I do not think that the ATM's growth will become fast-tracked. So this is not going to happen. One thing which is lacking today in the banking industry is customer centricity. We create one product or two products, and then we want every customer to somehow, take it up. This is not going to happen. The banks will use the omni-channel strategy and the customer centricity to set the right parameters which suit a preference of specific customer. And this is what will help the bank stay relevant. For that to happen, banks have to change. So we'll be seeing a lot of banks creating a team of cross-departmental experts coming together and creating products. The product will not be created in isolation by the business team or the product team or the technology guys. So they have to come together for customer-centric products. Information security, cyber security is the name of the game when you have got everything digitized or at least stored in the electronic form. Today even, cyber security and information security are the must thing to happen, and they have to be massive investments into it for anything to continue. Even for the regulator to give you a green signal for a massive financial inclusion and digital financial services, banks have to make sure that their information assets are well protected. Banks do not do a lot of marketing because they have got captive customers. But you have been living in a country which is one of the top countries in terms of millennial population. So in such a population, these millennials will demand more of social media interaction. And this is where the banks will be spending and have to invest good amount of money into marketing to make sure that they actually promote themselves and be available when the customers interact on various digital channels. While I do not see that the customers will actually be, picked up by the fintechs or other entities, I do expect that a lot of banks will partner with non-banking entities to better service customers. Banks are regulatory in their style of customer management. So they basically deal with the customer as if you actually have come to get a visa to another country. This has to change. And this will change possibly by either changing the tellers with people who actually are more sort of, who are better in customer management. But I think that there will be companies emerging who will become better in customer management, and certain customer management portion will actually be given away to them. And I'm not talking about agents. The agents today are not good at it either. My last slide, which is the Brett King's statement, that the banks which have been growing over time by acquiring other banks, which have been massive physical infrastructure, they do not think that they're going to be big even after 10 years or in 2025. It has to be a digital footprint, the customer centricity, the value that you can create through your products to the customers, and when they need it, they are available, are going to create the real difference. So with this slide, I end my presentation because I was given only 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shahzad Sahib.